Alright, you ready?
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, we have our first game against FerretMaster versus Clopse in the tournament. The seeding was a bit strange and it set them up right in the first round, but this will be a best of 3 match. And we are opening up with FerretMaster going vehicle first, and Clopse opening up bot. Now, bot is generally more popular on surface. Surface is a bit of an older map, but how would you say that vehicle opening plays in on this map in the current meta?
I think it's a very viable strat. If you just get strikers and rush through the middle to the side expansions, it can be pretty strong. You could also do an ants push, but I don't know how that would... Actually, I think it would probably fail against grenadiers, and those are kind of the meta right now.
Yeah.
So it depends on what units he makes, and he's getting strikers.
Well, FerretMaster is going double vehicle, and Clopse is playing a very old school build. One bot straight into air, and he has picked up a shocks. We'll see what kind of damage he can get done with that. Now he's going to see one of the strikers. He knows that FerretMaster has one vehicle factory already. Picks off the striker, and we'll see if he's going to search for these fabs and if he can make it work. All FerretMaster has is that one spinner there. He does not have strikers out. He picks off one fabber already in the early game.
He's gonna leave it there. I would have dropped it on every other group that...
Yeah, he just left it there, but I guess one fabber is enough for him, which it is quite significant, but I feel like he could have gotten those 2 other fabbers or made a play for them. But he has a... now we have Clopse expanding to his second expo. Has all 3 medals up and is taking a medal advantage this early in game, and is dealing with these raiding strikers with Icaruses already.
Yep. Ferrets.
Yeah, we see Ferret is kind of on the back foot. He is expanding to one of these craters, but not sure how that will play out. We see Clopse coming in with a spark drop again. We see 3 strikers just sitting there for FerretMaster near Clopse's base, but likely going to be cleaned up by an Icarus.
Yeah, it looks like Clopse has kind of countered this already. We're gonna see maybe a Fabber snipe. Oh.
Gets the Fabber though. That is one little advantage for FerretMaster. Now,
not 2 Fabs.
Yep. All right, what's the next play for these guys? They're going into their 4th factories now.
Clopse is going more air. Ferret is just going tanks.
Ooh, FerretMaster snipes off some of these Icarus. That was pretty nice.
He's got some air though. Yeah.
Yeah, Clopse has a slight air advantage, 4 fighters to just 1 at the moment. 2 on the board now for him, but not together. And we see Clopse already transitioning to Grenadiers. FerretMaster, does he notice and will get his strikers to pick him off? Strikers technically counter Grenadiers, but they need to be microed. Loses his strikers.
He needs to switch out of ants and into strikers. Ants aren't going to work against grenadiers anymore.
I see. Yeah, and we also see Clopse. He's leveraging his expos near towards the middle, and is building up both a bot factory and a vehicle factory together. We see a little bit more, some ants running straight into Grenadiers. Grenadiers pick off the spinner. And we see more drops coming in from Clopse. He's still playing a lot of drops, even at this stage of the game. Still picking off fabbers. Like, most people tend to abandon it after 2 minutes, but Clopse is still keeping up on it. They're both pretty even on metal, though. Metal factories, although I do feel like Clopse has the edge army-wise. Has better air presence, has more army on the map. Now we see Clopse coming in on FerretMaster's first proxy base, gets the bot, sees the bot factory, is likely going to kill it. Sees the ant and is defending, but is overwhelmed. Is going to probably lose all 3 of these metal because Clopse is hovering with his air units, is protecting them. We do see FerretMaster coming in with 2 ants though. He can do some of his own damage. But he has to notice there's some grenadiers on these ants now.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it looks like Clopse is definitely doing a lot more damage to Ferret than Ferret is to him. The Ferret has got an Inferno in the middle of Clopse's base, picking off some energy and some Fabbers. Pretty good play on his part.
Yeah, definitely.
Another Inferno coming in on another Expo. Like, suddenly Clopse is losing all his Expos, same as Ferret. This game is getting pretty brutal. Like, both sides just losing so much metal.
Yeah, Infernos are super tanky, so this is gonna work out great for him.
Yeah, our compositions are pretty different. We see FerretMaster enjoying a vehicle play with Infernos and Ants, whereas Clopse is playing lots and lots of Grenadiers, lots of Grenadier spam.
Yeah.
I think normally they would pair off pretty well against each other, but the greatest difference is that Clopse has control of the air.
Clopse also has an expansion game ahead of Ferret, and a unit count lead, and a factory lead, and a Fabber lead.
Yeah, speaking of factories, Tier 2 factories are coming up. Both of them are bots, pretty traditional. FerretMaster is a little bit ahead of Clopse in that regard, and he has a commander on it. It's going to take Clopse much longer to get his Tier 2 factory up. Don't know how FerretMaster can leverage his Tier 2 timing, though.
Yeah, with like less than 70 metal income, it's pretty near impossible to leverage your T2 timing like this.
Yeah, and this
It's gonna take all the production.
yeah, this Air Force from Clopse just cleaning up any sort of raid that FerretMaster can do. I mean, he was in trouble there for a moment with 2 Infernos on his factories, but Clopse was able to kill them with bombers, which is something you don't ever really see. Infernos just being cleaned up by bombers. They usually take such a long while.
Yeah, usually there's anti-air with them, so it's not doesn't work as well.
Yep, and now we have a 50 metal lead for Clopse, and I think he's going to leverage that for more power on the map. He's just taking so much map control, so much vision. He still hasn't really reclaimed any of his destroyed expos, only taking 1 of them, but just play it slow. He's ahead. Just slowly creep across the map and win.
I have to say I like Clopse's unit composition better. Ants aren't gonna work, as we can see this entire game.
Yeah, and his
the go-to right now.
His Grenadiers are covered with Sparks and Strikers as well, and some Spinners in case of anti-air. I'm kind of surprised FerretMaster's still building air. I feel like he needs to just put all his eco into army, into ground forces to deal with these raiding forces here. But Clopse is taking full advantage that FerretMaster has no air presence and is just freely expanding across the map, not bothering to build any anti-air. And this is a very, very confident Clopse. Alright, now we have our 2 first slammers out. They're going to go straight into these Grenadiers. If microed, they will kill all the Grenadiers, but if not, he will be punished for it.
Looks like he's gonna get punished for it.
Yep, loses one of the Slammers, the other just simply runs away. And we have a Sniper bot out of FerretMaster. Long-term solution. Clopse still does not have his Tier 2 factory out, but his army lead is significant. His army is 120 to FerretMaster's 55. That is double his army size. We see more Grenadier raids coming in, killing metal that FerretMaster really should not be losing at all. He really needs every single metal he has. His efficiency has dropped down below 50%.
Yeah,
Can't use your... Go ahead.
massive map control lead to Clopse. Ferret doesn't have any map control really. Clopse is going on 300 metal. He's crashing a bit on energy,
Yeah.
but he's got a pretty huge advantage over Ferret with only 61 metal income.
I think this is a good showcase that you can't just go straight for tier 2. You do need some map presence with tier 1,
Yeah.
or else you'll just get overwhelmed. And like this was a case of vehicles technically being a good opening. Like people enjoy vehicle openings on these open maps now, whereas it used to just all be bots. But FerretMaster was not able to make the new meta work against Clopse, who played really a traditional game. The only major difference is just the presence of Grenadiers now. But also Clopse had some fantastic drops early game, and he kept leveraging that, killing more and more Fabbers, and really slowed down FerretMaster's pace. Now FerretMaster is coming forward. He's looking for a comm push. Doesn't have much behind it, but it is tier 2 units. Clopse is just barely getting out his own sniper bots. That's what he is getting out at the moment. No slammers. Already takes 25% damage on his commander. Bombers come in on his army, kills sniper bots, hits the slammers.
And that's game.
Yeah, and there's turrets getting thrown down, and yeah, this looks like it's just kind of by the numbers game.
Yeah.
Kind of seems pretty simple on the face of it, but still an interesting showcase between vehicle factory versus bot factories and the strengths that bots can have over vehicles on a map like this. We'll go to game 2.
Yeah. Ready?
Ready? Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, we got our second game up with Clopse versus FerretMaster on Enfear, which people say is a Forge style map. Hey, can you tell us what a Forge style map means?
It means very little air and lots of tanks and bots. Probably mostly Grenadiers in this game.
Yeah, Grenadiers.
There's a lot of mountains and CSG all over the place, and Grenadiers are amazing on these kind of maps because they can just shoot over everything, and other units need line of sight to do this.
Yeah. Another feature that I would say is a Forge style map is that you start in this little alcove here, and you have to push out to your first expose, which are pretty vulnerable. But after that,
being
go ahead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's going for this expansion first instead of the base metal.
Yeah, he's going straight for this opening metal. Like, needs to get some sort of pressure out, and it looks like Clopse is doing the same thing. Gonna be picking up sparks, and we'll see if that did the same amount of damage as the first game. It does look like FerretMaster is going to be less vulnerable to it. Already has his own spark, striker, and spinner there, and rallying the rest of his forces there. It is coming in though. Clopse does scout it. Don't know if he actually saw it though, because his scout immediately got shot down. Drops the spark on the side. Very, very conservative of him. And we do see FerretMaster having one Fabber in his main base, getting claiming the rest of his men. Now, Clopse's first expo out of his base is to the 2 points here. Pretty defensible. I would normally go for 3 though. You can rally all your units there and defend pretty easily, like what FerretMaster is doing. It takes a 3 metal lead, but seems like Clopse is not punished at all, and is now moving on to more expos. FerretMaster adding in his air factory so he can get his air presence going. But yeah, a little bit more about this map. I know we got a little bit of action early, but usually a Forge style map, you start in an alcove, hard to push out, and you have a bunch of lava behind it, and we do tend to see a lot of players abuse the fact that your base is undefended on the backside, and we see locusts, drifters, drops always being played on the backside, and not sure how that will play in this game, but as a Forge style map, that tends to be a big feature of that. This map also features a platform in the middle of nowhere, and we'll see if those players take advantage of those 4 metal. It's usually really easy to lock down, but it can be punished as well. Clopse's first Bot Factory Expo is in front against vehicle, and we see FerretMaster's composition is a wide mix of units, whereas Clopse is favoring more Grenadiers and Sparks.
Looks like a little power crash for Clopse here. It's not so great. Oh, he's going back though. Again, power crash. Probably his commander is doing that. Yep. Too many fabs. Not enough power. A Pelican sitting idle in Ferret's base. I wonder where that's going.
Ooh,
He doesn't
some of
have
his
air
own drop
control,
play.
so...
Yeah. Their armies are just kind of skirmishing with each other, trading pretty evenly so far. Grenadier shots going across the mountain. Ooh, now we see FerretMaster bringing in the rest of his reinforcements. Bombers come through, kill 2 Fabbers before this double laser turret can come up. Really big play for Clopse, but Ferret wins the ground war. He should push into these 3 Fabs that are pretty vulnerable here, but I don't think so. Clopse bringing in, rallying more.
Again.
Yes, we see strikers on this side.
Gonna get 3 metal down. Clopse. That's good. Ferret's floating metal. No.
Ferret floating metal. Oh no, he's got the lead, but that lead means nothing if you're just not using it. Oh, we see the Inferno drop on the backside, killing 2 metal already.
Oh damn, he's really raiding Clopse.
Yep, and Forge style map means you're abusing the lava. Players really should get more defenses on the backside of this metal here, but they often just ignore it, and so they get punished so much.
Get knocked down to 89 metal.
Yeah, Clopse knocked down. And loses energy as well, energy that he should not be losing. Clopse is really hurting from this.
Very valued Inferno.
Clopse, in desperation, is pushing forward with his army, but is going to get cleaned up by FerretMaster. He does get the 2 metal in compensation, but not sure what he can do. Our army sizes are even, but the metal advantage is important. However, FerretMaster is not using his metal advantage until now. We see our first tier 2 factory up, and it is a bot factory from FerretMaster, and he has a lot boosting into it. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Fabbers and his commander on the factory. That's going to go up very, very quickly, and he has the economy to support it. Clopse reclaiming his base, getting his metal back, trying to get his eco into some semblance of strength here. And FerretMaster's just pushing forward, but isn't getting too much damage done at the moment. Armies are pretty much even right now, 44 to 42, just identical, just trading so much. Like, they're sending their units out just to immediately die.
Ferret's beating him to T2. It's pretty important. Losing air though. Getting some bombers killed off for him. Now Ferret's macro is pretty slow this game. Only 7 factories. By this time, you should probably have like at least 11, like Clopse does by this time, the very least.
Yeah, but
T2 up.
He's got the tier 2 up though. If he can leverage that properly, that'll be a significant advantage for him. And he's already pushing out slammers and sniper, a mix of slammers and sniper bots. We'll see how that goes. Like in very, very low army engagements, tier 2 really, really starts to win for you. Especially if your army sizes are even. Although looks like FerretMaster is going to lose another 2 Fabbers expanding to this. Clopse is starting to take more metal now though. And it looks like another attempt by FerretMaster to drop an Inferno on Clopse. Gets the Inferno down just as, yeah.
Gets it down.
Metal is dead though, but this is brutal for him.
Bad snipe? Nope. It's not going to be as much value as the other one, but it's still going to get some value.
Yep.
Not going to get a second, 4th metal extractor.
Nope.
But the rating's really keeping Ferret in this game.
Yeah,
Clopse's macro is better, but he couldn't really defend with all these raids going on.
Yeah, and we see tier 2 pushing into a lot of his production here.
Inferno push into air, that's huge.
He's got some grenadiers, but yeah, that's going to do some damage. It looks like Clopse is really on the back foot here. Hasn't even started his tier 2 factory at all, and FerretMaster's getting up some defenses at his proxies. Loses more metal. Is he going to go for the energy? No, he's just going to go for the metal. Gets the fabbers as well.
So many fab down for Clopse. Oh my,
so many.
Huge.
Does defend this forward push though, but another push coming in with tier 2 in it. Shreds these Grenadiers. Slammers versus Grenadiers. If Grenadiers surprise Slammers, it's okay, but if Slammers get on Grenadiers, just absolutely lopsided. Not sure what Clopse can do, but he is leveraging that he has so many expos and like these proxy factories all over the place. And we got some locusts coming out. One's on the lava, one's in the middle of the map. FerretMaster is probably going to be punishing the backside of Clopse again. Forge style map. Ooh, Clopse just about ran 3 fabbers into an amp, but then pulls him back just in time. Locust coming in the back, but there are docks in place. Does clean that one up easily. The other Locust...
Like for the first time, Clopse is ahead in metal and ahead in power, and
still doesn't have tier 2, but
so the roles have switched a bit.
Yeah.
Clopse is floating ahead in metal.
He lost 3 factories, 4 factories, air factory, and these 3 factories in the front. So now he's kind of seeing a reversal, but he's leveraging that he has tier 2. I'm sorry, he has air presence now. Really important. Both of them are making a play for the platform now. 2 fabbers are going to be bumping into each other.
Total air control.
See who wins that.
We've got a 3rd fabber from Clopse. Some fighters are close by Ferret, or just 1 fighter. Should pick him off. Ferret's just trying to push into Clopse's base.
Yeah, that's what he should do. He's got the tier 2 advantage. The Clopse has just barely started getting up his own factory now, 10 minutes into the game. Insane.
Clopse has won the platform, as expected. This push could seal the deal for Clopse, for Ferret, I mean.
Yeah.
2 locusts coming out. That's interesting.
More locusts, yeah. It seemed like Clopse had a pretty easy time last time. And Clopse takes the metal platform in the middle here. We'll see if FerretMaster can punish it. FerretMaster does have locusts out. It is an option, but he's run into a bunch of bombers, but the bombers can't hit them. They're moving too fast. Insane. And the locusts come through. It gets these 2 metal, get the fabbers, gets the 3rd mechs as well.
And they pay for themselves, just like that.
Yep.
He should split them up, though.
Oh, he's getting more damage anyway. Gets more metal. Clopse isn't really affected by it, though.
Oh, he could go in and kill the base production a little bit with these locusts.
Yeah, Clopse is
sitting there idle, though.
Yeah, Clopse is just floating an absolute metric ton of eco, though. Losing those mechs doesn't really matter that much to him if he's floating already. His sniper bots are just lowering this army count, but we do see that Clopse is starting to get his tier 2 force out now. However, no sniper bots in the army, so FerretMaster, if he stays out of range, he's just going to whittle that army down, get more value out of it. However, Clopse is controlling the sides here of this map, and that's where most of the eco is. That's why his eco's so good. Locust in the middle of Clopse's base gets some more metal out, kills another factory, more energy, lots of damage to other stuff before Clopse cleans it up. Man, these guys are just being brutal to each other. I feel like Clopse is ahead, but not really able to use much of it, whereas FerretMaster is ahead in his own ground forces, but also not able to leverage it.
Yeah. What's going to matter most immediately is the unit positions and numbers, and right now Ferret's got both. So
he does indeed.
The immediate lead goes to Ferret in this game. Clopse has the potential to take a lead, but it's not. It doesn't look very promising if he doesn't trade well.
Yeah.
He's got more Grenadiers though, so it looks like he can pick off this unit comp.
Yeah, he does. He's favoring just Slammers, not getting any sniper bots. Slammers go in and just overshoot, kills a bunch of units here with the Slammers. Maybe the Slammer only composition was a pretty good idea. Oh no, pushes through. Suddenly, Slammers aren't protected and loses all of them, but FerretMaster goes right into a wall and gets his army killed. Second army, though, coming through, killing off any more Expos. And we see a lot of skirmishes on the opposite side of the map where Clopse is holding. FerretMaster's pushing through. Getting these two factories could be quite pivotal for controlling this side of the map.
Ferret needs to kill Clopse's expansions. If he does that, then it's game.
Yeah,
He's got the unit count lead, and that's the only advantage Clopse really has.
Yeah, we do see Ferret.
All these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 factories going up on the right side from Ferret's point of view. If he pushes through there, that's massive. It's a massive win. Ferret loses bombers to Clopse's air.
We do see, ooh, very significant trade. Oh, the trade seems a little bit even, but loses the bombers. So his rating is stopped.
Ferret really misplayed that.
Yeah, we do have Clopse pushing in, though, out of desperation. Both of them are just taking huge chunks out of each other. Like, really savage game. Just ignoring each other's armies and just pushing in. Lots of action in this game. Tier 2 factory coming out for FerretMaster, though, and he could probably leverage levelers against a Slammer-only composition from Clopse. Clopse only implementing a few sniper bots in his game. However, FerretMaster is pushing into these Slammers and getting his army completely destroyed. Second army coming up, though, has sniper bots in it, picks off a few Slammers.
Ferret keeps trying to push into this wall, but it's never going to work the same. It's always going to have the same result because it's a wall and it's going to multiply the HP effectively of the units behind it. But he picks him off with the Gillies and Grenadiers.
Yeah, he does. And his Locust, FerretMaster's Locust, just completely cleared off the bottom side of Clopse's. Just one side that Clopse was controlling is now gone, and now we see that Clopse is just plunged in eco at 40% efficiency. Really hurting now. This might be the
200 eco to 70.
Yeah.
Pretty damn big.
Double the army size now. Their army sizes were pretty even before, but now we're seeing FerretMaster take a definitive advantage, and Clopse just GG's out. Really good game though.
So.
Like both of them had like really strong advantages in different ways, like in major weaknesses in other parts.
This is a very important distinction you can draw from this game. Ferret had a short-term advantage for a long time. Like what I mean by that is the advantage that Ferret had could be used immediately, and that is unit count. Throughout the game, Ferret had more units than Clopse. There was a point, a small one, where Clopse had slightly more units, but Ferret had positioning and unit advantages for most of this. And he used his advantage better than Clopse. Clopse had the advantage in the sense of it was a strong advantage, but he couldn't use it immediately.
Yeah, he never leveraged the eco lead that he had, even though controlling these two sides was really important for him. And then FerretMaster killed one of those sides and just crippled Clopse, and then started leaning into the other side. And levelers were out at this point, but I don't think... Yeah, Clopse was already dead before the levelers coming in, but that would have been the final nail in the coffin for Clopse. But yeah, overall, really good game. We saw a lot of reasons why it's called a Forge map. We saw FerretMaster constantly punishing Clopse, but FerretMaster himself...
more air for...
Yeah, FerretMaster wisely had a double laser turret. That would have been punished by an Inferno drop, but would have punished a Locust run by. But yeah, Clopse also had an air advantage most of the time, but once FerretMaster's Locust really did a lot of work for him. Alright, we're going to go on to game number 3. Alright, that's the end of that little game. I'm gonna find that replay. I need to go to the bathroom real quick though. I get some water.
Alright. Alright, I'm at 46.
All right, ready? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, and we see our third game between FerretMaster and Clopse, bringing them to Bulkhead. A very, very large map, very different compared to the other two that we've seen before. Tell us a little bit about Bulkhead and differences we could see here compared to the other two. Will Clopse use a ton of Grenadiers?
Well, I definitely think Clopse is going to use a ton of Grenadiers. But this map is very interesting because if we zoom out here and go through kind of the North Pole area, we see there's two areas of approach. There's a short lane, and then there's a very long lane. You usually you see players try to secure the short lane. Not really. You might see some pushes there, maybe early to mid game, and then the heavier expansion is probably going to be the back side of the planet, where it's a much bigger distance and a lot of turtling up here, pushes back and forth. Yeah, it's a very unpredictable map for this reason. You can get away with teleporter rushing through the short side of it, and you can get away with, if you can defend a short-term approach, you can get the backside and get all this metal.
Yeah, we just
So
see
it's
Clopse.
a very dynamic map.
We saw Clopse open up Bomber first. Really interesting. This map does favor second air quite a bit. Ooh, Scout baits out the fighters, comes in with the Bomber. Does he get? He gets one of the fabs, pretty significant, but does not get the other one. Gets some damage on the Sparks. Really interesting opening to go Bombers. He builds another Bomber, not building any fighters. It's another Bomber in production. What is going on with Clopse? Just looking to just Hail Mary these Bombers in. Get some, I mean, it worked the first time, but I'm not sure if it's going to work the next time. You really need that fighter presence on this map. Like, lets you do a lot of things. Ooh, just misses this next Bomber, just goes right past. I don't know if FerretMaster noticed, but it was definitely in vision range. Clopse coming in.
2 Bombers for Clopse is pretty ballsy plays.
Yeah, it's very, very aggressive.
One picked off by a fighter, I think.
Is it going to go get... Oh, he sees it. The fighter inches towards it, saw it for a sec. And Clopse goes in.
Get a fab.
FerretMaster knows, gets another fab. 1 fab per Bomber is worth it, but... How much damage is it?
Almost
Because you aren't... Yeah, because you don't have the fighter advantage yourself. You can't scout easily. And
he sacrificed his air control for a fab.
yeah.
Because a Bomber is over twice the price of a bot fab.
Yeah, we do see Clopse now building a bunch more fabs. Has a total of 6 fabs on the map now. He's like, I got 2 fabs. I'll just build 2 fabs to get over it. Ooh. Sparks traded, but one hit a tree, the other did not. And now he's going to come in and look for this fab here. Clopse gets that fab. FerretMaster really struggling in the early game here, but he does have an air advantage. We'll see if all this rating. Yeah, we'll see if this rating for Clopse works.
Clopse is rating more than Ferret is now.
Yeah, although Ferret he has an air fabber. He's getting at this little location over here.
Bomber that was trying to defend for Ferret got picked up by Clopse.
Ooh.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it took 4 fighters, so I don't think it was worth it for the metal trade.
Yeah, we do see Clopse. He's putting up anti-air on this platform here. Starting to secure that location, anti-air in one of his expos, but FerretMaster is gonna get these 3 metal here, and is building expos on the backside of his planet. Not really sure who has an advantage, but still pretty action-orientated early game. We do see Striker against these 2 Grenadiers. I think it's okay to micro around them, burn down a bit of the forest. We don't see any Trico coming out from these 2 players yet. Trico pretty important on this huge map. 2 boom bots coming in, looking for a snipe, and they get another fabber down on the backside. Should have used that other boom bot for the spinner there, in my opinion, but throws it on the base. The damage is already done with the Fabber dead. Alright, and now we see Tier 2 Factory coming out for FerretMaster. He's going into Tier 2 Error. Now, Tier 2 Error is usually not something that you do often, but why does it work well on Bulkhead?
On Bulkhead, well, again, you see this very big backside of the planet. And
Yep.
there's also a short side. So T2 Air is a little vulnerable to a teleporter cheese kind of thing. But it doesn't look like we're actually seeing that from either player. So it's a safe choice on this map for sure in this situation. It's going to control quite a lot of area if played right on this backside of the planet here.
Yeah, we do see Clopse just going into more Tier 1 factories, not going for error, so FerretMaster can really leverage this, and we see Clopse, he's rallied a bunch of sparks across the map, but 2 ants is the absolute best counter to it. They just kill it before it can get in range and do damage. Metal advantage is going for Clopse though. I think he's got more expos. He's rebuilt. The Fabbers that he's got were never killed off by FerretMaster. FerretMaster hasn't really raided as much as Clopse, and now we see Clopse getting a real advantage on the map. And it looks like Clopse is going to discover these 3 little mechs here that FerretMaster has, and FerretMaster cannot lose those. He's really behind on eco, losing both out on energy and metal. FerretMaster does have an air lead though. That is quite significant, and with his Tier 2 air, he can just build gunships straight up. Wait, what's this? Oh, Phoenix, yeah. Just, no, you need gunships to deal with all these armies. And we see, of course, Clopse with an absolute metric ton of Grenadiers. Pretty standard for him. But FerretMaster really needs to secure his sides. Pretty quiet moment going on. And what's this? Is that a Hornet? We got a Hornet in the game. A really interesting interpretation. Usually people go gunships, but Hornets might just clear out all these Galatas that we have. What are the advantages for Hornets rather than going straight gunships? We see Hornet coming through. Will it pick off? Yeah, what's the DPS of Hornets versus this?
Well, he's getting them because they can snipe everything that Clopse owns right now.
Yep, and has the fighter advantage. Ooh, picks off all that. Oh, and the Hornet survives Clopse's run through.
Looks like Ferret can pick off all Clopse's power at the moment, which is pretty huge. He's not going for it.
Yeah, he's just clearing up this base, which is pretty good, But needs to leverage his Tier 2 air advantage because Clopse is getting up his own, and he still has the eco lead. Clopse coming in with his own little raiding force here. Just one spinner, but that's not anything worthwhile.
Hornets do so much damage. It's gonna get picked off.
Oh, he loses the Hornet though at the wrong time. His air force was not in the right position. Very unfortunate play from FerretMaster. He really needed to leverage the fact that he was using Hornets of all things. Gunships are a little bit safer because they have quite a bit more health, not easy to pick off. And that's kind of the disadvantage of playing with Hornets. They're just paper airplanes.
Hornets also, they're pricey. They have a lot of damage. They, what else did I do? They're pretty slow, and they lag behind other because of the sheer amount of range they have, so it's really hard to keep them safe. And we see him getting horseflies now a little bit, or got one horsefly. He's getting a mix of horseflies and kestrels.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want like 5 kestrels to 2 horseflies, approximately.
Huh.
Something like that is usually a very safe mix.
Yeah, he does have his air advantage, so he can build these anti-ground. Oh, gets these units picked off though.
Yeah. We
Very
see
unfortunate.
Clopse is being a little interesting because he's what is this minefield from Ferret?
Oh, I see it. A pretty good minefield though,
It's
securing
pretty
that
great, yeah.
platform. Yeah.
Problem is he doesn't have metal there, so
Yeah, needs to secure more metal. His eco's behind, even though I feel like the quality of his army is good. He's got the tier 2 advantage, but Clopse is kind of ignoring it. He's got a massive army on the backside of the planet ready to push in. Tons of grenadiers, 4 spinners in it. Loses
yeah,
an
it looks like Clopse is kind of playing this map backwards right now.
yeah.
He's doing the pushes on the back side of the planet instead of the front side, which makes sense because there isn't really a lot going on the front side of the planet.
Yeah.
On the back side, Ferret's trying to contest it, and Clopse has to keep him from doing so.
Yeah,
Keep
I
him from
know
getting a presence here.
I know people complain about spinners, but I feel like FerretMaster could have easily cleaned it up if he wasn't so reckless with his hornets and gunships. Like, I feel like FerretMaster should be ahead, but since he was so sloppy with his units, it just is not working out for him. He's doing some damage to some grenadiers over here, but the real threat is from this massive force on the backside. And we look at, again, Clopse is going for another snipe. Gets another gunship out of there, and now it's just a bunch of tier 1 bombers in FerretMaster's force. That's not going to do anything against 7 spinners in this army here. He really needed gunships and hornets to clean it up, but just carelessly loses them. And now we see Clopse taking a definitive metal advantage. Both of them are going into combat fabs for some Trico, but the map presence is there, and the army size. FerretMaster is only at 100. Clopse is more than double that. Now this massive force, like, FerretMaster is just not going to be able to handle this force. And we see another smaller force coming up from the top, like, just these huge armies. And then a third force coming out of his base as well. Like, FerretMaster has no ground game whatsoever.
Yes, and this is a very big issue for him, because with all these spinners, the air is kind of useless. 7 spinners, 6 bombers and a kestrel, not gonna happen. So Ferret's he's definitely gonna suffer quite a bit here, just because of the lack of bot presence he has in this game. Clopse just out macroed him, pretty much. Got 300 units to 90. Well, almost 300.
Yeah.
Clopse got another push coming in on the short side.
Clopse
of the
just threw a bunch of tier 2 air, traded against FerretMaster, but FerretMaster's air force is now just so low. Now that Clopse's tier 2 air is up, like, FerretMaster's not going to have time to get any sort of bombers or anything, but he finds the one army that has no spinners at all in it. 2 bombers just go into town, a horsefly, and just going to kill his entire army for free. But you can get 1 army for free, but there's 2 other armies that you need to deal with.
The bomber's doing more damage to it than the kestrels are.
Yeah, this AoE versus single target. Oh, and we got a GG out of FerretMaster. Just
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell he was coming back from this push.
Needed to clean up 3 armies for free. Could only clean up 1 army. But yeah, overall, pretty good series. The first game was kind of a okay showcase of vehicles not working against bots. The second game was a really intense, crazy map with lots of different things going on there. And the third game felt like FerretMaster had the lead, but just kind of threw his lead away, and Clopse just overpowered him. But overall, pretty good series. Really quite enjoyable. The second game was definitely the best. And yeah, I think. All right, end of the gas. GG.